Okay, this is a video on word work problems to go with your solving rational equations lesson. So what I've got here is a word problem with Ryan and Castell. They're trying to dig a 10 by 10 hole, and we're trying to figure out how long it would take if they work together. If Ryan digs the hole by himself, it would take 5 hours. If Castell digs by himself, then it would take 6 hours. So what I've got going here is trying to get them all on a level playing field. After 1 hour, how much of the job would be done? So what I've got here is 1/5 of the job is done after 1 hour if Ryan's working. 1/6 of the job is done if Castell's working. Then I'm going to multiply that by the time that they work together, or the rate that they work at. And then if I multiply that, then I would get the one job being complete. This is the formula that we're going to use for these word work problems. And again, the 1/overs are what happens or how much is done after 1 hour. Okay, so now it's just a matter of getting a common denominator and solving. So the common denominator here, 5 times 6 would be 30. So I could just multiply top and bottom by 6 and top and bottom by 5 here in an effort to get a common denominator. So 6 over 30 plus 5 over 30 times x is equal to 1, and this is the equation that I'm going to solve. So 11 over 30 x equals 1, and I'm just going to do a two-step here to solve. Multiply both sides by 30 to get rid of the fraction. And now I've got 11x is equal to 30. Divide both sides by 11, and x is equal to 30 over 11. And I just grab my calculator. You can leave that as a fraction if you'd like, or if you are more comfortable with decimals, just type that into your calculator. 30 divided by 11, 2.7 hours. And that's if they work together, how long it would take. Now, you could double check that you had a reasonable answer. If it took one of them 5 hours and the other one 6 hours, working together, it should take less than 5 hours. It shouldn't take more time if they work together. It should take less time. And 2.7 is less than 5. So we did that one right. Got one more example I want to do with you. Okay, now I want to work on this example that has a little bit of a different feel to it. It says, working together, Jenny and Natalie can mop a warehouse in 5.14 hours. And had she done it alone, it would have taken Natalie 12 hours, but they want to know how long would it have taken Jenny by herself. So it's almost like we're working backwards. They told us how long it would take if they worked together. Now we're going to try to figure out what it would be to get Jenny by herself. So using the same formula from before, after 1 hour, this is what it would look like. And I actually have some information that I can fill in. So I know that I'm trying to figure out Jenny, so I'm going to keep her as the J. But I know that Natalie, it took her 12 hours to mop by herself. So after 1 hour, she would have 1/12 of the job complete. And then I also know what the rate is with them working together. So instead of x, I could put 5.14 there. And that's still equal to one total job. And the one variable that I'm looking for is J. So I need to get a common denominator and then solve for J. So here we go. Again, just to make sure, I just substituted into my formula that I used on the previous problem, and now I'm working backwards to solve for Jenny. All right, here we go. So focusing in the parentheses with the fractions to try to get a common denominator, the easiest way to get that is just to multiply J and 12 together to give us 12J. So that means I need to multiply by 12 over 12 and by J over J in an effort to get common denominators. So here we go. That's going to give me 12 over 12J plus J over 12J. And I'm just going to keep everything else in my equation the same for now. Deal with that in a second. And so here we go. J, because they're common denominators, I can add the tops together. 12 plus J is 12 plus J, just like that, over 12J. and then that's going to be multiplied times 5.14 equal to 1. All right, so now I'm just solving my equation. I'm just kind of scoot over here so I have more room. All right, in an effort to try to get all of that by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by 5.14. All right, that's going to give me 12 plus j over 12j equals, and 1 divided by 5.14 is 0.19, like that, okay? And now that's the same as 0.19 over 1, so I can actually cross multiply if I want to treat this like a proportion. So this would be 0.19 times 12j, and then that's equal to 1 times 12 plus j. Okay, so 0.19 times 12j, that's going to give me 2.28j equals 12 plus j when I distribute that 1. And now I'm just got to get the j's on the same side. So I'm going to subtract 1j from both sides. And that's going to give me 1.28j equals 12. And then I'll divide both sides by 1.28 in an effort to get j by itself. So Jenny would take 12 divided by 1.28, or 9.4 hours if she was working by herself. All right, so that's how we would do that. The same formula, just working backwards.